Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, giving you another reflection on what it means to grow as a disciple, to be and to grow as a disciple of Jesus. And you and I, that's the business that we're in. We're being in the business of being and growing as disciples of Jesus. Maybe that hasn't been, in your target range, but that is actually the point. Jesus is looking for you and I to grow to be like him. And as we participate in that, as we connect with others, as we do this in the playing field of relationships with others, we have to start putting this into practice. Jesus has talked about that. He who hears my words and puts them into practice. Be doers of the word, not simply hearers, deceiving yourself, James 1:22 says. And so in that, we talked about this idea that you and I need to look back in order to say, am I making progress? Am I changing, or am I just staying the same? Because I think a lot of times what we end up doing is we take the path of least resistance and we remain the same. And so if here's a relationship that's broken, it's just easier to kind of dodge them and go another direction. And if you see them at the supermarket, you just go down a different aisle. All of us have done this at different points in time. Now, other times we just actually will go find another church. Well, I had a conflict with that person, so I'm going to go find another church. Other times we just get all combative and we either fight or flight or freeze, but we actually are not dealing with those things well. We're not applying what Jesus is teaching us and what he's calling to and calling out of us and saying, you can do this. You can be a reconciler like I am a reconciler. So we look back to say, what kind of progress am I making? We look outward to say, what is the arena that God is actually putting me in to actually put this into practice? Who are the people that are right next to me that I can actually love like Jesus loves and become more like him as I'm doing that, as I'm growing in that? But another dimension of that whole thing that I want to spend just a couple of minutes talking to you about today is that you and I also, we look back, we look outward, and we look inward. Now, I'm not saying that we become just master navel gazers and we just basically are so self-absorbed, but if a person doesn't look at some level inside of themselves to say, Lord, what are you saying to me? What do you think about me? How am I doing with this? And I ask questions like this, and the Lord is routine in interacting with me if I ask questions like this. Lord, what do I need to deal with within myself as a result of what I'm reading or what I'm hearing or what we're studying or the discussions that we're having? If I'm looking inward, what do I need to deal with? And honestly, if you're anything like me, which I know you are, you have issues. All of you have issues. And I have issues. And the Lord is going to say, hey, Bob, I love you. I'm delighted with you. But I love you too much to leave you the way you are. So I am going to actually interact with you in your life. I'm going to challenge some things because I want you to become the best version of you, the one that looks like me. I like the way that Mark put this. A Mark-shaped Jesus, a Bob-shaped Jesus, a Jill-shaped Jesus, a Melissa-shaped Jesus, a Linda-shaped Jesus. That all of these things, Jesus is making you to be like him. And so we look inward. Another question, what truth do I need to own in this? What truth is being communicated in your word that I'm reading today that I need to own it? I need to meditate on it. I need to turn it around in my own soul. I need to treasure it. I need to write it down on something. I need to memorize it. What truth do I need to do? That, again, that's looking inward. How does this truth change my perceptions about those around me? Or about myself and my own identity? How does this truth affect the way that I think? Remember, the Lord is changing you and by changing the way that you think. That's what renewing your mind is all about, is that you are choosing a different road in terms of your thought life. So what truth, what does this truth change about my perceptions and my identity? Perhaps another question is to ask of ourselves is, what kind of progress am I making or not making? Now, as a husband, I can tell you that making progress is real and tangible, that the way that I serve my wife, the way that I love her, the way that I adore her, the way that I use my words to build her up and to draw her out, those are all just verifiably doable. And whether I'm making progress on that or not is actually fairly ascertainable. That's not a mystery. And so I ask those kind of questions. Am I making progress? Ask that question. Am I actually making progress in any of these things? Or have I stalled out? Or have I regressed? And if you have, then you need to change course. You need to change what you're doing. And we don't do the same things and expect to get different results. We have to change the way that we do things. Again, you know this. So I'm not saying something to you you don't know. Another one is, Lord, what risk, what stepping out in faith are you calling me to make as a result of what I'm reading or what I'm interacting with? How does this cause me to have to take some risks and to step out in faith? What might that look like? A spiritual gift, or sharing my faith, or a forgiving, or stepping out and reconciling, or becoming a peacemaker between people, or actually just helping somebody with their groceries, or giving a big gift to somebody that needs it. All those different things all really matter. Look inward. That's one of the ways that we start to grow and apply what Jesus is doing in us. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm so glad that we're walking in this together of growing into Christ likeness, to growing as disciples. I love you. I'm walking with you in this. God bless you.